this one, so there's two videos on the same day.
Best not to get bogged down in a mudslinging. Silent stoicism.
Hi everyone, thanks so much for being here and joining me today. It feels really great to be back. I want to apologize for the wait. This video took way longer than I expected. First, I had some things going on in my personal life that are still
so angry. Just can't get over how much he hates Stolas. It just took too long. Too many things to say. 45 minutes. This person made a video that was like half an hour long about how he hates Stolas. And already, that wasn't enough. That wasn't enough. That wasn't enough. You thought he covered all the bases? No, no, no. 45 extra minutes of material he found.
Being cleared up. It's not huge or anything. It's just basic teenager shit. But I am feeling a little better thanks to you guys. I need to thank you guys for the overwhelming support on my last Stolas video. I expected it to maybe get like 50 views at the most, but it currently has almost 7,000 views and 659 likes.
Yeah, one of the saddest things about the last video is that when you go into the comments, everyone else has the same just inability to analyze media. Everyone else has the same media illiteracy. Everyone else has the same, like, just lack of understanding of the show. Like, it doesn't take that, it's not that hard, guys. Just, like, watch the freaking show.
Which is just so unbelievable. From that video, I gained nearly 150 subscribers as well, and it really does mean a lot.
Simmering,
I never expected to get
rage.
this many views on a video right now, since I'm only just getting back into YouTube, so I genuinely really appreciate it. And I also really appreciate all of your nice comments. They're very sweet and kind. I was blown away that people actually like my commentaries and stuff, so seriously, thank you everyone. You guys definitely made me feel better. I also want to apologize for the first Stolas video being messed up with the framing for a few minutes. It's the segment in my murder family section where the video is far smaller than the screen, and it's really embarrassing looking back on it. I don't want to produce
that's not the embarrassing part of that video.
This video was as flawless as possible. I also wanted to apologize
that's
for
not
my
the part
mic
you need to
quality for my last
apologize
video.
for.
I do have a fish tank. Shout out to the person who noticed. You'll probably still hear it a little bit, but I did the best I could to fix it so you won't hear the running water as much. Also, I want to apologize for my shitty Roblox gameplay. I wanted to post gameplay of a more interesting game to go along with my commentaries, like Fortnite or Minecraft or Mario or something, since those are some of the other games
Here's
I play.
an idea.
But I play on Xbox, and as we know, Xbox is a really...
Here's an idea. How about use visual aids that actually match what you're talking about?
Gay console, and it only lets you record clips up to 5 minutes. I can try to get gameplay from my...
Wait, what did I just hear? Let me go back. I think I paused at a weird moment
since those are some of the other games I play. But I play on Xbox, and as we know, Xbox is a really gay console, and it only...
Okay, I did hear that. Okay. Wow, okay. I don't know. I did not expect that from this person, but all right.
Only lets you record clips up to 5 minutes. I can try to get gameplay from my Xbox, but usually the quality isn't great. And
I don't know. Did anyone else expect this person to be like an old school, like using gay in that way? Like 90s gay? I can't be the only one who's surprised. Just did not expect that. Came out of left field for me. All right, cool.
But I'll see if I can do that for future videos. Also, I'm sorry that there were some things I forgot to mention about Stolas in my first video where I covered Season 1. So for everything that I forgot, I'm just going to talk about it here in my Season 2 video. Wow, I just realized I apologized like fucking 4 times now. I guess I'm going on an apology tour. Before we get into the video, I also have kind of a little quiz for you guys, I suppose. I don't fucking know. I want to see if you guys can guess how old I am. As I said before, I'm a teenager, and I am older than you probably think, judging by my voice. I sound like a fetus. But yeah.
I mean, yeah, your voice does sound very feminine, which is why I sometimes use female pronouns when I talk about you. But this person described having exes in the last video, so I assumed this person was in his 20s. So finding out that he's a teenager He's actually younger than I expected.
Yeah. So for anyone who can guess my age, you get 20 fictional dollars.
Apparently it's Roblox.
Okay, anyway, sorry for the long intro. Now we can finally get into the video. Oh, God.
It's Roblox.
Bring out the fire. Ring, 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 juggling.
But I guess it's Pokemon in Roblox. I don't understand this game. Because this is some Pokemon shit. I don't know much about Pokemon, but this is a Pokemon thing that we're seeing. But he was just talking about how it's Roblox. And the little character here looks like, I guess looks like a Roblox character. Is that what Roblox characters look like? This is some weird kind of... Yeah, I'm not familiar with whatever this is.
Oh, God.
Bring out the fire. Ring, 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 juggling. We go burn this down. Be a rock star.
Yes, you were here to ravish me, weren't you?
You?
Why else would you be breaking into my room? You could have asked to visit, you know. It's been a long time, but I have a very good memory.
Oh, yeah.
Picking up where we left off.
Yeah, well, I figured, since you're a prince and all, it might just be easier to scale the walls and slip on in. It certainly is easier than going through your fucking staff.
One would think you might be here for nefarious reasons if you are sneaking in during the cover of night.
To give Stolas credit, I've heard some people saying that Blitz is the one who started talking all dirty to him in the first place, so Stolas must have thought that this is what Blitz was into, so it gave him the wrong idea and made Stolas think that Blitz was okay with this kind of talk. And I used to believe this myself, actually, but let's keep in mind, Stolas was the one who initiated this dirty...
I mean, okay. Okay. You're bringing out some real evidence-based argumentation here. You're talking about, first thing Stolas says to Blitz when they meet up again is basically, "You're here to fuck me, aren't you?" So, okay. We're kind of dismantling a bit of the myth about how their relationship started.
dirty talk shit in the first place. He's the one who says, "Oh yeah, you must have come to my room to have sex with me," and all that. And that's when Blitz realizes, oh yeah, this guy wants to fuck. Okay, so I'll give him what he wants and then take the book and it'll be done. Not saying that Blitz...
I'll distract him with what he wants so that I can steal his book, which was a situation that was misrepresented by this person in the last video. Where in the last video, he acted like Stolas just let Blitz have the book. Where if you actually watch it, you see that, Blitz just straight up appropriates it for himself without permission. Just leaves. And Stolas doesn't really care because he's too enamored to care. No, this is not the Snicks Six Flicks night. It's a male, not a female. Yeah, apparently. I'm taking his word for it. I guess there are a few, there are some men who sound like this, sound like women. It's not unheard of. Here's an idea. He can go and be a VTuber. By the way, he sounds like a short curly-haired girl. All right. But I think when people talk about this, it's more that we're talking about how the misunderstanding at the core of their relationship started, and how the misunderstanding started because Blitz was using sex opportunistically as a way to get this book. And Stolas, of course, misinterpreted that because it was kind of supposed to trick him. It was a ruse. It was a con job, and so of course he fell for it. And thought that there was some real feeling from Blitz in that interaction. But it's also implied that there was feeling, because he said he was going to do it very quickly. Oh, I can get this over real quick, and then it cuts to the morning after real quick. So it's implied that actually Blitz found himself enjoying the interaction a little bit more than he thought he would. But I think that's more usually what people are talking about when they bring up this moment. But what we have here is to recap from the last video. The contention is that Stolas' behavior with being really aggressively horny toward Blitz is inappropriate because it makes Blitz uncomfortable. It irritates him. And that we can see that this started like right at the beginning, before Blitz even kind of orchestrate. Like, this is what inspired Blitz to orchestrate this con job on Stolas, is the fact that Stolas was already talking like this.
Blitz using Stolas to get the grimoire was okay. All I'm saying is that it must have been easy for Blitz to tell that Stolas wanted sex, so he used that to his advantage so he can get the book without being noticed. And also, I'm making a whole separate video dedicated to Blitz and his mistakes, and I'll mention that in that video. But we're focusing on Stolas' fuck-ups right now, not Blitz's.
Do you like it when I talk to you dirty? I want you to me with your in. Get it all the way. Get it all the way through me, you.
Oh, stop it.
Yes, if that's what Blitzy wants.
So at first, I didn't want to add this clip because it just makes me uncomfortable and gives me so much secondhand embarrassment. But I feel like it's important to mention because look at Blitz's facial expression. Look how uncomfortable he looks here. Like, Blitz clearly doesn't like...
Yeah, look how uncomfortable he looks as he's trying to trick this bird into thinking that he wants to have sex with him. Like, what is this point? This is the dumbest point. Like... Oh, Stolas is making Blitz uncomfortable while Blitz is being actively, like, sexually forward with him. Like, what? Huh?
Hearing these types of things, and I think he made it clear enough, but of course Stolas takes it as a BDSM thing. Stolas took it as a, oh, well, he wants me to stop talking because, well, you know, I don't need to explain. I think you all know what I mean. He thought of it as a submissive thing and not as Blitz being genuinely uncomfortable with...
Yeah, because Blitz was like, oh, how afraid do you want to be? Huh? Yeah, and he was like getting really horny with him. He pushed him on the bed. Like, he bit him. Like, did you forget the part where he bit him just like 10 seconds before this happened? He gives him a giant freaking bite on the neck. Like, come on. What is with this selective reading? What is with this just cutting out all the stuff that adds context to this and explains why Stolas is behaving the way he is? It's total nonsense.
The things that he was saying. I think Stolas is really bad at reading the mood. I do think that Blitz likes being dominant at least a little bit because he does talk about, like, you know, making Stolas, like, finish. God, this is so embarrassing to say out loud. So I do believe that he likes being dominant at least sometimes, but he doesn't like hearing people say the things that Stolas was saying. I'm going to get more into this later and actually explain something that I don't think makes any sense, and that kind of goes along with this point. I write my name into the stars right now, on gallery now, namgya. Does anyone get that reference? Probably not.
No.
But if you do, put it down in the comments, and you will get 40 fictional dollars. I upped the price just for you. Okay, anyway, I'm sorry. Let's get into it. I just saw the episode title, Seeing Stars, and it made me think of that song. So anyways.
Dad, this is going to be done before tonight, right?
What? Oh, I hardly think so. Knowing your mother, this will take all weekend. Don't be gentle about it now. Break whatever you have to get it all in there.
What? What did you just tell them to do?
But tonight we're supposed to...
Darling, can we not talk about this now? Your mother's being a real bitch.
I love the butler.
Well, how was I supposed to know you can spell? I've never seen you read.
I said in the last video that this is not one of my favorite episodes. This is one of my least favorite.
What pisses me off about this clip is how dismissive Stolas is towards his daughter.
Towards his daughter? What about the fucking butler? Are you serious? You show a clip of Stolas squeezing his butler like not even having any idea of what he's doing, not even having any concern or care for this little imp who's in his employ. Treating him like shit. Treating him like an object, literally. And then your complaint is how he's treating his daughter? For fuck's sake. I mean, he's barely mistreating Octavia in this situation. Octavia's just like, hey, Dad, I want to talk. And he's like, I'm too busy. That's basically what's going on. Like, how is the daughter situation the concerning part here when the fucking butler is getting choked out? It doesn't make... Oh.
I understand he's arguing
Priorities,
with Stola right now, but he
lady.
completely ignores his daughter and doesn't even give her the chance to fucking speak. Stolas knows that Octavia is clearly very depressed about her parents' broken relationship, so I feel like Stolas should have been there to comfort her. You can yell at your wife later, dude. Be a good father and comfort your daughter. I forget important things all the time, so I'm not blaming him for forgetting his plans with Octavia, but I am blaming him for not paying attention to her. How hard would it have been just to hang up the fucking phone and say, hey,
How hard would it have been for Octavia to wait a few minutes and then talk to him when he's less busy? How hard would that have been? How hard would it have been for Octavia to just say, hey, Dad, this is really important. Can you, like, take 5 minutes so that we can talk about this? Like, Octavia's at fault in this situation, too. Octavia's a dumb teenager who takes everything really personally because she's an edgelord and, like, has very little... She's very sheltered, just like her dad. So in some ways, she's actually quite similar to Stolas. But, yeah, and in those ways, I think she is as at fault in this interaction as Stolas, if not more.
I'm sorry, Octavia. I've just been quite distracted lately, and I forgot I was supposed to take you to see the star.
Mike Absurd says, it's funny that the rape vibes aren't bothersome to this person, but every little other thing is. The rape vibes. The rape vibes? What rape vibes?
Tonight. However, I will rearrange things so that we can still go tonight like I promised. Would that have been so fucking hard, dude?
Shit. What the fuck am I supposed to tell Stolas?
Well, he seems to like you, sir. Maybe he would understand.
Okay, my dick is good, but it is not that good, Moxie.
Sir, I don't think we really have a choice.
So what, you want me to just call him up and be like, hey, Stolas, oh, your daughter came by, took your book and teleported off to who the
That's a
fuck
good
knows
gag.
where. We have no way of getting either of them back, okay?
This is a good scene.
Talk, bye. Wow, that actually went better than I thought.
Great character animation there.
This scene also just kind of pisses me off, even though it's very minor. Again, like I've said a million times, Blitz doesn't owe Stolas sex. The implication that, oh, well, I could do anything, but if I just have sex with Stolas, he usually forgives me. It just shows you how fucking shallow Stolas really is.
How could this happen?
No. What? No. What? Huh? Let me hear that again.
Better than I thought.
This scene also just kind of pisses me off, even though it's very minor. Again, like I've said a million times, Blitz doesn't owe Stolas sex. The implication that, oh, well, I could do anything, but if I just have sex with Stolas, he usually forgives me. It just shows...
I don't know. I don't understand. At this point, like, this is it's probably better to just move on from this point.
Shows you how fucking shallow Stolas really is.
How could this happen? Do you just let anyone waltz into your office and grab infinitely powerful artifacts? Why would she do this? How are we supposed to find her? Where would she go?
And then it pisses me off later that Stolas is fucking surprised that Octavia got mad and ran away. Like, he's all like, why would she do this? Like, bro, use your head, damn it. And it's really funny how he tries to put the blame on Blitz. I understand Blitz should have been keeping more of an eye on his area, but at the same time, Stolas was careless for letting Octavia leave without him knowing in the first place. Like...
I mean... I guess Octavia's still technically not an adult, but she's 17. I'm pretty sure she goes places. Like, she's at the age where she would just kind of go places. And... like... It's absurd to me how this person is putting so much blame on Stolas in this interaction when, like, he didn't know what the hell was going on. Like, he didn't, like, it's not his fault that Octavia decided to do something stupid just because she wasn't getting attention on that day. Like, I don't understand how you can possibly watch this and think it's Stolas' fault that this happened. And yes, Blitz should have been watching the book more. It's not his property. It doesn't belong to him. It's a very important, valuable piece of property for both him and Stolas. And Luna totally failed him. She should have been doing her fucking job. By the way, Luna sucks. She's a horrible character. Not to say she's poorly written. I think she's a finely written character. I just hate her. And I think she doesn't get nearly enough hate. This analysis is all wrong. Really, I mean, the two people who are most at fault in this interaction are Luna and Octavia, the two daughters. They fucked up the hardest in this interaction.
Bitch, you caused this. Then there's this scene, which I already talked about in part 1, but I'm going to elaborate on it more here.
All right, Racy is elaborating on Mike Absurd rape vibes, more like persuasion and desperation to please someone. Yeah, I don't really know what Mike Absurd is talking about there.
Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. I can't do this. No, not again. I haven't performed since...
Blitz, if your performance on stage is half as good as it is in bed, you'll leave them breathless.
Why would you say that? Like...
Why on God's green earth? Why on God's green fuck
would you say that? After everything that's happened, like, are you serious? Literally a few days ago, Blitz was saying that Stolas makes it obvious that he only wants Blitz for sex. And then Stolas decides to say that. Like, you're proving his point. Nice job, buddy.
Yeah, but... I mean... Don't forget that Blitz let Octavia steal the fucking grimoire. I mean... He's not exactly... he's not exactly happy with Blitz in this situation. It's not like he's trying to... We went over this last time, because this person is reiterating a point from the last video. But, yeah, this wasn't exactly the time and the place to get all serious again about their relationship, to have, like, a real conversation. For some reason, they're deciding to do this sitcom acting thing, even though it makes no sense and they shouldn't even be there. So, within the dumb construct of this plot, it's just a dumb plot in general. So it's like, I don't really feel like there's much of a point in defending it. But within the context of it, it makes sense that Stolas would default to complimenting Blitz in a way that he knows how, in a way that he knows would resonate with Blitz.
You could have said anything else to comfort him, but instead, of course, Stolas thinks about sex like he usually does. This is just genuinely disgusting and insulting.
This girl likes Stolas so much she thinks she can judge his parenting. It's a he. It's a man and it's a he. It's a teenage man. An older teenage, 18, 19-year-old man. And Yeah, I mean, Stolas, he ain't a perfect parent, but he's definitely not as bad as people say, I think.
And Stolas is never called out for doing this, by the way. The show passes it off as something that's supposed to be normal. I genuinely don't know if Vizzy thinks that this behavior is okay, so that is why she's not having anyone call Stolas out, or if
I mean, what about this behavior isn't okay, just in abstract, just in a vacuum? With the context of the whole Aussies incident, yeah, it's kind of weird. It's kind of not exactly tactically the right thing for the moment, but it's not like this is fundamentally wrong behavior.
if this is leading up to something later where he is going to be called out, but it still pisses me off nonetheless that the show seems to demonize Blitz all the time while acting like Stolas didn't do anything wrong, when that is just the furthest fucking thing from the truth.
Your dad's really worried about you.
Right, that's why you're here instead of him. He couldn't be bothered to keep his promise, and now he can't be bothered to come and get me himself. He'd rather spend his time just screaming at my mum. Why does he hate her more than he loves me?
I don't know, maybe because she's a fucking psycho cunt. I don't understand what it is about Stella that Octavia likes so much. Like, have you not been around your mom ever? Have you never seen your mom before? Like, what is this? I really want to get some insight into what the deal is. Like, why Octavia is just so oblivious to who her mother even is.
Sometimes it's not as simple as that. This kind of shit gets messy. And everybody's got issues, especially dads. And sometimes they fuck up. Well, all the time. That doesn't mean they don't care.
If he cares, where is he?
He's somewhere down.
Even you thought that he sounds and seems like a girl? Yeah, he definitely sounds like a woman. This person definitely has a female voice. But he is officially not a woman, as far as we know. What exactly is endearing about Stella? I know it's like, I can't believe that he hates her more than he loves me. It's like, what? Like, wouldn't you hate her? Like, why would you not hate her? I don't understand.
Down there?
I don't know why people never bring this up either. This, like, just how weird it is that Octavia has this thing, like, she blames her dad for all these problems. Like, just use your eyes and ears, woman. Like, look at your family. Does it look like your dad is the problem in this family? I do not understand.
He's here looking for you. I mean, try to cut your dad some slack. He may not always get it right, but he's trying. That's more important than...
Hey, sometimes Luna is right. Sometimes she's okay. I probably shouldn't have called her a horrible character, but I do often find myself not liking her. Because it just with her past and just how much trauma she has, she's just a dick to everyone. And she never takes her job seriously. And she's always fucking things up on purpose and just being a nuisance. And Blitz just lets her get away with it because he has a soft spot for her. And he just lets her get away with everything. But it is kind of annoying. Like, take your fucking job seriously, woman.
Than you think.
Like, she's the worst employee ever.
You ready to go?
You have a soft spot for this corny emo subplot? Yeah. I mean, it is nice to see these two characters connect. Especially because their dads have so much drama between them.
This scene is actually really fucking sweet, and Luna is right. Stolas is definitely trying, but that still doesn't excuse his
Maybe Octavia has Stockholm Syndrome when it comes to her mom. Maybe, I don't know.
fuck-ups. And hearing Octavia say, why does he hate her more than he loves me, is just really heartbreaking. Octavia has every right to be upset, and she brings up some very valid points. Again, I'm definitely not saying that Stolas doesn't care about Octavia.
What valid
Sometimes
points?
he is a good dad to her, but other times he's careless and neglectful, whether he realizes it or not.
So sorry.
I'm just relieved you're okay. But what would possess you to do such a thing? You know I haven't taught you spells like this yet.
I just wanted to see the stars you promised.
The stars? Azathoth's tears. Oh, no. Oh, my dear sweet Via, I am so...
I know, Dad. It's okay. You're here now.
This scene is also sweet, so maybe I'm just a negative bitch who wants to complain about everything.
Oh,
but
you
again,
think?
why is he asking, why did you run away? Like, bro, is the answer not easy to figure out?
It's not, because he wasn't... Like, he's way too distracted. I think Stolas might have ADHD. Because... he's... I feel like he just... is not... He doesn't have the best memory. He gets distracted very easily. And with the whole divorce and with him trying to move all of Stella's stuff out of their palace, yeah, like I'm sure that the stars in the nighttime sky were not the first thing on his mind in this incident. And I'm impressed that he even remembered it all, because like that was something that he told her a long time ago. Like, yeah, whenever Azathoth's or whatever it is, whenever they come around, yeah, we'll see them. But that was just a small thing for him. Like, I doubt he even really was thinking long term, like, oh yeah, we got a plan for that. Whereas for Octavia, it was a much bigger deal. And so I'm impressed that he even remembered that at all. You know, that a normal dad would just forget about that, especially if they haven't talked about it since then. And we're never given any indication that they have. And so that's part of the issue. If we had been given indication that it had been like an ongoing thing between them, like, yeah, Azathoth's tears, then sure. But we're not given any indication of that. So there's no even real reason to think that Stolas should remember something like that.
I know he forgot about going with Octavia to see the stars, but if Stolas used his brain, he would most likely figure out, oh, Octavia probably ran away because I was ignoring her while she was trying to talk to me. In other words, why is he so surprised that she left?
He's not surprised that she left. He's surprised that she stole the grimoire and went to fucking LA of all places. Like, what a totally whack, nonsensical thing to do, and something that puts Stolas's whole like career and social standing in jeopardy. Like, this is not a small deal, and something that puts her in danger, taking her to the human world. When she doesn't even really know how to use the spells in that book. I mean, she told the book to take her to see stars, and it took her to LA. Like, she clearly doesn't know what she's doing. Yeah, Stolas has every right to be confused about that. Like, why the fuck would she do something like this? This is not normal behavior for your dad ignoring you. Oh, my dad is ignoring me? I know, I'll steal his property, his very important, valuable property, and then go to LA of all places. I mean, you're telling Stolas to use his brain. Why don't you use your brain? This doesn't make sense. Unpause. Come on.
Let me just clear this up. I did feel bad for Stolas when he got kidnapped and tortured in this episode. I may not like him as a character. He's really not the best person ever, but he doesn't deserve this. He can be selfish and self-centered at times, but again, he didn't deserve all this.
Blitz handles me rougher than that in bed. Nice try.
Yeah, this episode is hard
Blitz's
to watch.
knife is bigger and hits so
And I just don't like
deeper.
this character.
Being a smartass,
Because once I split your neck open and let you choke on your
Like
own
he's
blood,
never done anything to be
you won't be
likable.
worth any more than the tombstone you'll be buried under.
Blitzy says far dirtier things to me with much sharper objects at my throat.
Part of me didn't even want to cover this.
And he makes me mad because he's always doing this Bond villain thing where he'll just talk instead of killing him. And he does this in Harvest Moon too. And all the characters do it in Harvest Moon. It's like the last third of that episode is unwatchable because of that. Because they like instead of they're having a gun battle and none of them get shot. And it lasts for like 10 minutes or something. It's like a really absurdly long gun battle. Nobody gets shot. Makes no sense. Then in this episode, why does he do this? Why does he bring him all the way to this remote place in the Ring of Wrath and then just like leave him there for a while? Well, he knows that Blitz knows that he's been captured. So if this information is out, then why is he just wasting his time like blah blah blah? Like what is he even doing? Is he sharpening his knives? Like what is the motivation to not just kill him and get it over with? It's so weird.
This episode because you could make the excuse that Stolas is only talking about this stuff to get a
He's a
rise
very
out of
underwhelming
Stryker,
character.
But I'm mentioning it anyway since it still is.
Yeah. He's a frustrating character for me on multiple levels.
It's kind of fucked up and weird to hear Stolas talk about this stuff. Again, it's not exactly helping his case. It just supports the claim that the main thing on Stolas' mind is sex, and that's all he wants Blitz for.
Oh, shut the fuck up. Like, you're taking this incident of him trying to assert power in this situation where he's clearly powerless by doing this sort of fake raunchy thing to make Stryker uncomfortable. And then you're saying that this somehow says something about him and how he views Blitz. No, it doesn't. No.
And again,
if anything, this is just him showing how much he loves Blitz, that his first instinct to make Stryker uncomfortable is to talk about how Stryker pales in comparison to Blitz, how much better Blitz is than Stryker.
Maybe he was just saying all this stupid shit to mess with Stryker, but it still just doesn't seem right. Especially since Stolas is now aware that Blitz thinks Stolas only wants him for sex and kinky shit. And I saw a comment on Instagram that basically said whenever...
Just because it's a problem that Blitz accused Stolas of only wanting him for sex, just because that is a problem in their relationship, doesn't mean that Stolas is now never allowed to talk about Blitz in a sexual manner or to compliment Blitz sexually or to want to have sex. Why does now Stolas have to be some sort of celibate when it comes to Blitz just because this was an issue in their relationship? You're taking this way too far.
Blitz is uncomfortable, it's treated as a joke, but whenever Stolas is uncomfortable, it's seen as serious. And I'd like to marry whoever made that comment.
Hey, like I said, Racy, it's not a girl. He doesn't get basic sarcasm.
Because that's something I didn't even pick up on. Stolas knows that Blitz was very insecure about his quote-unquote relationship with Stolas because he felt like Stolas only wanted him for sex, and Blitz made it obvious that he was uncomfortable hearing Stolas talk about it. But then Stolas does this and it's passed off as something that's supposed to be funny. I know Blitz isn't there to hear it, but still, whether someone is there or not, you should still respect their wishes. Stolas talking this way obviously makes Blitz uncomfortable, yet here it is being played out as something that's supposed to be funny, even though...
And Blitz isn't even in the room, so who fucking cares?
Stolas is literally violating Blitz's wishes. Stolas talking this way obviously makes Blitz uncomfortable.
This is just nonsense. Like, this has nothing... This has no bearing on the situation at all. Blitz has nothing to do with this interaction. He's not in the room. Stolas can say whatever he wants about Blitz behind closed doors. It doesn't matter.
Yet here it is played out as something that's supposed to be funny because, haha, sex, I guess. Whether Blitz is uncomfortable doesn't matter as long as it's funny.
He's not
I know
uncomfortable.
the
He's
pilot
not
isn't
even
under the
there.
canon, but I'll throw a clip in here from that anyway. Remember this scene? Notice how Blitz is very uncomfortable.
This is in the pilot, and it's not canon. Again, we've been over this.
And this is played off as a joke. But God fucking forbid Stolas gets his fifis hurt, and then it's actually treated as a sad and important moment. Let me just say, my respect for Stolas definitely went up when he said this. He's letting Blitz know that their sex thing isn't mandatory anymore, and that if Blitz wants a break, he can take one. The only thing that bothers me is the way he types it. Look, I'm really not trying to dog on everything Stolas does and complain about everything, but like, just read this shit. Like, oh wow, Stolas, you'll give Blitz a month break from fucking you. Wow, you're such a nice and...
All right, let's read it. If you don't feel like coming, that's okay. I'm sure I can do without it for 1 month. Do you plan to visit tomorrow? I know you've been busy and working hard. Maybe if you prefer, we can skip the bedroom and just relax maybe. I'm sure you need a break. You're not up for it or too tired. That's perfectly fine. No pressure. I don't have anything with the grimoire till next month. So this is just an example of this person refusing to give Stolas any credit for the good things that he's doing. Like, he's doing what you want him to do. He's making it very clear that Blitz doesn't need to fuck him to have the book. Like, this, by all rights, he should be rewarded in your esteem for this. And yet you still, for some reason, this isn't good enough for you. You have to complain about this. Why? What is the complaint here? He's doing everything right here.
I know he gives him breaks after this too, but honestly, I just think it's really funny the way it's worded. I'm sure I could do it without it for 1 month. Makes it seem like he's not 100% sure.
No, it sounds like he is 100% sure. What?
I don't even know how to explain my thoughts here. I just think it's
because your thoughts don't make any sense. This is the same thing with NerdSync, where he was like, I don't know how to explain how angry I am. Like, a lot of times I'm finding when people say that, it's because it doesn't make any sense. It's because they shouldn't think this way. They shouldn't feel this way. It doesn't make sense to feel this way.
Funny the way this is worded, so we'll just leave it at that. That's all the compliments Stolas is getting from me for now, because his behavior in these next episodes makes me want to slam my head against a wall. There's not much to say for this episode, but there are 2 scenes I want to talk about.
Hey, Stolas only cares about having a rugged peasant raw dog him into his mattress. It's nothing, it's nothing else.
Then why were you even there?
Other very important reasons, of course.
Whatever, I don't actually care.
I mean, Stolas is just a loud, thirsty bitch who loves feeling the thrill of getting dicked by the lower class. It's a novelty to him.
Literally just said I don't care.
And then he'll call me and try and see how my day was, and he'll pretend to care about me and comment on my photos and laugh at my jokes.
Oh, well that's definitely your clue right there that it's all bullshit.
I know, right? He's just a fake privileged asshole.
Sounds like you just hate him for being a prince, because no one, and I mean no one, pretends to care that much just for a cheap lay.
Point is, royal demons don't give a shit about guys like us. They're all the fucking same.
Look what Stolas has done to Blitz, what he's made Blitz believe. You can clearly see that Blitz is obviously very upset about feeling like he's being used just for sex. Stolas made Blitz believe that he only wants him for sex, because again, that's literally all he talks about for the most part. You can't blame Blitz for thinking this. And
even though, oh my god, there's so many examples of this not being true. At the end of Aussies, he tells Blitz, hey, we don't have to have sex, we can... Hey, you want to come in and we can just watch a movie, hang out, have a conversation, cuddle. And then on those texts, he's like, hey, I would still like to see you. We don't have to have sex if you don't want. We can just have a good time together. Just be friends. Like, could you possibly think the show is signaling to us that Stolas only is indicating that he wants Blitz for sex, when it's made very obvious in those 2 episodes that Stolas is trying to to communicate something else, something deeper to Blitz. That he is trying to communicate to Blitz that he wants to spend time with him as a friend. How could you possibly look at this situation and then just ignore all that as if it's irrelevant, and then just act like this is all, it's just season 1. It's just season 1 Stolas behavior. That's the only thing that matters in this situation. And by the way, not blame any of it on Blitz for just having self-hatred issues and just being in denial over the idea that anyone could love him, let alone a prince. Just taking that out of the equation too, acting like he's not at fault at all in this interaction, even though, I mean, God, just think about what Veronica said about Blitz in Apology Tour. How when she said that she loved him, that's when Blitz dumped her, is when she admitted to him, she was vulnerable enough to admit that she loves him. You don't think that kind of behavior, that pattern of behavior is rearing its head here? You don't think that is a problem in this relationship, that's causing a huge part of the miscommunication here?
This is a huge fuck up on Stolas' part. Something that Stolas needs to apologize for, which he probably won't because Stolas is allergic to admitting his mistakes and taking accountability whenever he does something shitty, but whatever. And this next clip is very short and minor, but I'm bringing it up anyway.
Get fucked, little one.
Oh, Stolas, you're so funny. You really are just proving me so right about you.
What, because he told a lawyer who was working for a scummy mob boss who was trying to ransom somebody to get fucked? Like, okay. Selective, irrelevant, lacking context arguments against Stolas. Yeah. Seriously. It's so frustrating.
Tonight. Felt like dressing up a little since it's been a few months since I've been inside of his feathered ass.
A few months?
Yeah, the birds started giving me more ways out of our monthly fuck sesh. He'd be all like, "Oh, Blitzy, I know it's the full moon tonight, but you don't have to come if you don't want to, Blitzy." So I've just been taking breaks from having to plow his feathered ass.
I'm really sorry that this clip is cut off so awkwardly. I'm gonna be so honest. I've just been editing for hours and I'm too lazy to fix it, so I genuinely apologize. First of all, let's notice how happy Blitz is about not having to fuck Stolas once a month anymore. You already know what my opinion on their deal was, and I appreciate the fact that Stolas told Blitz he could take breaks, because it...
Really? Because it doesn't sound like you appreciate it. It sounds like you looked at that situation and still somehow found a way for you to be mad at Stolas for doing that.
really is fucking gross to basically force somebody to fuck you or else they won't be able to do their job.
Yeah, and apparently it's also gross to you when you don't force someone to fuck you in order to do their job, when you give them ample opportunities to not fuck you and just express interest in spending time with them and give them the book even though they're not giving you anything in return. Like, did you forget that this is Stolas' property here? Like, this book does not belong to Blitz. The Stolas doesn't have to give him access to this book at all, and by rights he probably shouldn't. It's probably not very wise of him to do that. It's probably dangerous for him to do that. It's probably going to get him in a lot of trouble, and that's probably something that's going to come up in the next few episodes, actually. It's kind of been hinted that Stolas is going to get in trouble for this. So, yeah, he's putting a lot on the line for this relationship. And all he wants is just to spend some time with him. He doesn't even need Blitz to fuck him. And he's made that extremely clear. Like, yeah, he likes talking dirty to Blitz because he likes Blitz. And as far as we know, even though, you know, this behavior, doing this in public all the time, irritates Blitz, Blitz likes fucking him. We get that impression too. I mean, we see that at the very beginning of Harvest Moon, that Blitz is enjoying the banter after sex, and he seems to, even in this episode, Full Moon, In Full Moon, he's like, yeah, I've been taking breaks from having to plow his feathered ass. Like, does it sound like he doesn't enjoy this? Does it sound like he doesn't enjoy it when at the beginning, during the song, he's talking about how he's gonna, like, eat his bird puss nice and rough and, like, all this shit? Like, he loves this. Blitz fucking loves this. Don't fucking baby him as if he's some helpless victim here. This is so dishonest. This is so manipulative, so constructed. So this is a hit piece, plain and simple. I'm so tired of it.
What I was mentioning in the beginning, something that doesn't make sense about Blitz, is that sometimes he'll be in the mood for sex, and then other times he will be insecure and think that's all Stolas wants him for. Like in this episode, Blitz was very excited about having a fun night with Stolas, which, I mean, hey, honestly, I was just glad that their sex would be 100% consensual for once. But yeah, I really don't understand this. Like, 1 minute Blitz is insecure about Stolas only wanting him for sex, and then the next moment he seems fine to do it with him.
Yeah, but have you considered that Stolas bad? Checkmate, atheists.
Despite being insecure about it? Like, it's almost like their roles are reversed for this episode. Blitz is the one thinking about sex, and Stolas is just like, I hope I don't mess anything up. So this was kind of confusing.
Oh, it's confusing to you because you haven't picked up on the signals that this show has been sending from the beginning. It's confusing to you because you've made up this completely nonsensical reading of the story that doesn't actually align with this, how the story is going. And so when the story keeps going in the direction that it's been going and elaborates on that, you're like, wait, this doesn't make sense. Oh my God, like, take a hint. Take a hint.
Confusing to me.
Do you? Do you have my book, Blitz?
Yeah, it's right here. I always bring it. Why do you...
I need it back. Permanently.
No, hold on, Stolas, come on. Is this because I've taken up skipping a few rounds with you in bed because I'm busy? That ain't fair. All right, I can still hold up.
Yeah, I can't defend Stolas for this scene. This is... Stolas just totally bricked this interaction. He really fucked up here. I don't know if I'll be able to defend him for this.
Up my end of the bargain. All right, let me show you a good time tonight. You know I can.
Please don't say it like that, Blitz.
Come on, bitch.
Yeah, don't say it like that, even though that's like the way you've been talking to him for as long as you've known him. It's just kind of Stolas is very in the wrong in this interaction. Now later on, I'm sure it will be played because it will strengthen this person's argument. Yep. In this moment that I'm scrubbing through. See, if this strengthens the pro-Stolas argument, this person wouldn't have put it in the video. He would have just skipped over that and pretended it didn't happen. But since this strengthens the anti-Stolas argument for this person, then he puts it in the video. But I think it actually reflects badly on Blitz. I think this interaction where Blitz is getting just unreasonably angry at Stolas, like, we can kind of understand why he's upset, especially because of all this, because of how Stolas fucked up the beginning of this conversation. Yes, we can understand why he would be angry, but this is where I think Blitz goes too far, where Blitz makes a mistake in just being just unreasonably cruel to him.
You know I don't disappoint.
No. There's no need. I've made up my mind.
Stolas, please, I need this book, please.
Yeah, and
I need this book, Stolas.
That's the real... That's where shit gets real, man. That's where you see how... It really does seem like he hasn't understood anything that Stolas has been trying to communicate to him, because he's just so in denial. He just cannot believe that Stolas would actually care about him. And so he's actually internalized this belief that this is all he's good for. And it's because he hates himself. And this is the detail that this person isn't going to talk about in this video, but it's an important detail. The reason why Blitz feels this way is not Stolas' fault. It's not because Stolas only ever talks about sex. That's not the reason. The reason is because despite every indication that Stolas has given that he cares about Blitz, Blitz cannot believe that Stolas would care about him. Because he just cannot fathom the idea that anyone would actually like him enough to give him all of this so selflessly. To give him access to this book to and not have to have anything in return. And it seems, you know, he even talked about in Apology Tour, he said, I want to feel like I'm earning my way to Earth. Because he's uncomfortable with this idea that he's being given something for free. That Stolas actually did something nice for him. Because it goes against this kind of framing that he's very comfortable with. People can be very comforted by their own self-hatred. It can be a story that they tell themselves so that they can just sort of they can kind of give up in a way and not have to make themselves uncomfortable by being vulnerable to other people. And that's something that Blitz really doesn't want, is to be vulnerable to Stolas and then have Stolas betray him in the end. Because he's had that problem before with other people. I think Fizzaroli is a big example of that. Kind of the main example in his life that sort of led to him developing this pathology.
I will do anything.
I think this was a dumb move on Stolas' part, and it also doesn't make any sense. Like, in the beginning, Stolas is singing and acting like their meeting will just be nice and happy and peaceful, and then he starts it out with a depressing monologue. In my opinion, I think it would have been...
Well, yeah, because he ran out of his happy pills, which he should have backups. I don't know why he didn't have more happy pills. Like, he's rich. The guy could buy more happy pills. I don't get why doesn't he have, like, a big box full of them? You know, why does he just have that tiny bottle? Oh, I ran out of my prescription. I need to go to the sloth ring to get it refilled. Why? He should just have that shit on order. Like, he should have like on Amazon where you can get something like a subscription to it and just have it, like, get a bottle every month or whatever. He should have a system like that in place. I don't know why he ran out of happy pills, but that's the convenient plot device that they came up with for why Stolas went from being really hopeful and happy to being really serious.
Be better for them to just hang out and have a good time and then bring something like this up. I just feel like it's extremely awkward if you haven't seen someone in months and then you just start out the conversation with something heavy like this. It's also very obvious that Blitz was confused.
Well, it's especially bad when he's like, I want my book back permanently. Like, what a fucked up way to open up the conversation. What a horrible way to start.
When Stolas just asked for the book without them having sex. Because again, Stolas always wants sex for doing favors for Blitz. So that's why...
Apparently not, because we've seen in those text conversations that you showed on screen, you clearly read them even though you didn't understand what was in them, apparently. We've seen that he's made it very clear that that's not what he's about anymore. So this is just ignoring evidence.
Blitz thinks that Stolas is joking, that this is supposed to be some kind of roleplay. Something similar to this happens in the next episode too. I'm not defending Blitz for continuously making sexual remarks towards Stolas after Stolas says he doesn't want to have sex, but it's very...
Yeah, that's... This person very clearly has a weird, just... hatred of sex. I don't know why. I don't know what in this person's life led him to this disposition, but it's like this is the one thing that he chooses to bring up about Blitz, the one criticism of Blitz. He's been babying and defending Blitz this whole time, and the one criticism of Blitz is when he keeps being sexually aggressive after Stolas says no.
Obvious that Blitz didn't mean any actual harm by it. He just thought Stolas was doing this as some kind of roleplay.
No longer have any obligation to see me, to touch me, to bed me. You are free of me.
I don't understand. Why are you giving me this? Am I not, like, fucking you good enough? Because I can always do better.
Blitz, I'm giving you this because I care very deeply for you. And I have for some time. But this transactional thing we have, it's not right anymore. It hasn't been. It never was. And now, all I can see is how wrong it is to be so tethered to someone in such an unfair way. And not know.
And this part is also where Blitz fucks up. See, like, the first half of this is Stolas' fault. And then this is the part where he saves it. This is the part where Stolas saves it. And it should work out from here. And then Blitz fucks up. And then Stolas fucks up again. And then Blitz fucks up even worse. It's kind of a great scene in that way where you know, it starts off all wrong. And then we have this moment here where it's like, oh, it could be saved. And the audience is kind of believing like, oh, this interaction could work out. And then it's just dominoes, one after the other. Just fail from here.
Oh, how they feel. But I want you to continue to be who you are. Your business. You don't have to stay here with me. But I want you to.
It's good dramatic tension, I think.
Because you want to.
A good kind of arc.
Only if you want to.
Let me just say this right now. I thought this was the episode that would finally get me to like Stolas. I thought his character was finally changing. I love the fact that in his song, he doesn't talk about having sex. All he talks about is just wanting to see Blitz.
Yeah,
and I
because
love the
you
fact
hate
that he
sex
admitted
so
that
much.
basically forcing Blitz into sex if he didn't want his business to fail wasn't right. I just don't like the way he brought it up. Again, I just think it would have been better if they spent quality time with each other and then brought something serious up like this. But overall, I really appreciated Stolas for doing this. It seemed like he was finally taking accountability and trying to show Blitz that he really did care about him and it wasn't just a sexual thing. And I did genuinely feel bad when Blitz unintentionally hurt Stolas' feelings because he didn't realize Stolas was actually telling the truth and that this wasn't some kind of roleplay. Blitz assumed it was because of his own self-hatred, believing that nobody could actually love him. But it's also Stolas' fault as well. Stolas needs to watch what he says because he could be very unaware of how he talks to people and how he makes them feel. I do commend him for trying to be open about his feelings with Blitz since these two never open up to each other, even though at the same time I can't blame Blitz for believing that Stolas was just joking around. I was kind of happy though because I thought that maybe, just maybe, I would start to like Stolas.
I mean, you can't blame him for thinking Stolas is just joking around. I mean, he clearly wasn't joking around there. This is definitely an intentionally kind of sabotaging moment for Blitz. Like Blitz really doesn't want to deal with this uncomfortable situation. And that was made clear in the opening song, by the way. That Blitz knew that this was going to happen. It's not like this came out of nowhere for Blitz. He straight up said like he was worrying about how he knows that Stolas is going to try to bring up these complicated relationship issues and how he just wants to ignore it. He just wants to distract him. And so he thought that going to the Lust Ring and buying all these toys would help him do that. So this whole episode is about Blitz being like willfully in denial of this thing that he knows is true. And he knows it's true by all the texts that Stolas was sending him. So, yeah, this just not blaming Blitz for the thing that is clearly his fault. Not buying it.
seconds for me to get pissed off at him again.
Blitz
I have
knew
wanted you for so long. The fact that you...
Blitz knew this was happening, and he was just in denial about it, and he was just trying to do everything he could to prevent it from happening. But the fact that when it happened, he pretends that he didn't recognize it. He pretends that, oh, he thinks that Stolas is joking. That wasn't honest. That was a lie. Blitz was lying there. He knew that Stolas was being honest, and he didn't want to go there because he's afraid of going there. So he tried to turn this around, make it into a role play. This is not an honest mistake on his part.
You couldn't believe that I might have these feelings about you, that your first instinct is that it's always about sex.
It's a well-written sequence that showcases how misunderstandings play out. Two people on different wavelengths that are so close to bridging a gap, but then unintentionally putting walls up, all due to simple misinterpretation of intentions. Yeah, it's a great scene. I really do love this scene.
Sex.
That's because all you fucking talk about is... You know what? I don't even want to explain myself anymore.
What?
You can't make this argument anymore. It worked in season 1, but you just can't do it anymore. Because we've just seen too much evidence that it's wrong.
Fuck you, Stolas. You spring this feelings bullshit on me.
This is such a great... I love this whole, like, 30 seconds here. I just...
Fuck you, Stolas.
The music cuts out. There's no music here. There's, like, a reverb on his voice. You see him in shadow, and you see the tears welling up in his eyes. It's just such a beautiful scene, and it's so believable for him. It's just perfect.
You spring this feelings bullshit on me. Are you fucking kidding? Can I get a fucking minute to think after everything you put me through, you pompous, rich asshole? Treat me like one of your little butler imps? You can't just dismiss me like that. I mean, you royal fucks think you can do this every time. Like you can just play with our feelings because we're smaller and not as important. Well, I'm not letting you, bitch! Let's go!
And I love that little detail about the butler imp. How, Blitz has been paying attention. He knows the way Stolas treats his butler. Obviously, that butler is well paid because we see him in Aussies, and he's living it up. So that butler has his own life going on, and he's living it up on his days off. But yeah, Blitz has no respect for this butler, and we saw him treating him like an object in the Seeing Stars episode. And I love that Stolas, rather. Did I say Blitz? Stolas has no respect for his butler. And I love that little detail that Blitz has been paying attention to that. He's been paying attention to how Stolas treats his butler. And he's like, that's a little sticking. It kind of hurts as an imp to see this guy treat other imps this way, but then kind of single him out as like, oh, you're the one imp who I will respect. And it's like being a black person who's friends with like a white plantation owner, and this white plantation owner is like treating you really well. He loves you, is giving you all this stuff for free, telling you how much he respects you. But then, like, you just look out the window. It's a great little detail. I like that they added that line in there.
This is why Blitz gets upset. I do think that he let his temper get the better of him, and that he was being a little bit harsh, but I do believe he has a right to be upset. Stolas does treat Blitz like he's just a sex toy, so you can't blame Blitz for believing that Stolas doesn't have any feelings for him, especially because this is also sudden and seemingly out of nowhere. These two do not communicate with each other about their feelings. Their relationship has never been heart to heart. It's just been, well, dick to ass. This is why Blitz is caught off guard and is very angry with Stolas, because Stolas never tells Blitz about how much he enjoys spending time with him. It's always complimenting him about how good he is in bed.
You're lying.
And nothing more.
He fucking does, you idiot.
Blitz, I think so very highly of you.
I didn't realize you
There's
think so well of
literally,
me.
there is literally a line in Aussies right when they're done, when they come back from the club, this horrible experience that neither of them enjoyed. Stolas still, to be nice to Blitz, says, I really enjoyed despite everything that happened, I really enjoyed spending time with you tonight. He literally said that. And then this person is like, Stolas never says that he enjoys spending time with him. He literally said those exact words in a situation where you know that he didn't enjoy spending time with him. But he was saying it anyway to communicate that idea because that was important to their relationship. He went out of his way to communicate that.
Pretty hilarious hearing this from Stolas, saying that he thinks highly of Blitz, yet he treats Blitz like he thinks low of him. Yeah, Blitz wasn't very nice to Stolas here, but he has a right to be upset. And to be fair, Stolas hasn't been nice to him throughout their relationship either. So why is Stolas suddenly acting like
He's
Blitz
been
is
really
just
nice. Stolas has been really nice to him for this whole relationship. He's been a little bit too cavalier at times, but that's not the same thing as being unkind. He's been cavalier, he's been unaware, but he hasn't been unkind.
big bad meanie and you're just an innocent little bystander who was treated so badly in this relationship and loves someone so much even though you treat him like a goddamn sex toy. So even though Stolas definitely had problems in this episode and made me mad as he usually does, I commend him on some things. I appreciated the fact that he took accountability in realizing that their transactional relationship wasn't right. I thought at least Stolas was finally starting to take some level of accountability, but in the very next fucking episode, all of the little bit of respect that I had for Stolas is thrown out the window.
Okay,
all of
here
his
we
character development from this moment on is completely fucked over.
Here we go.
Fuck it!
Wow.
This is like half of the videos. We still have half of the video left. And, oh man, it's mostly about Apology Tour. Okay, bring it on.
Poetry. I'm sure such a statement would have had me swooning by now.
Yeah, sure. Okay, that was a shitty way for me to say it, but you usually like it when I talk all dirty and fucky and shit. Come on, we don't do words. We do sex.
What aggravates me here is that this isn't a role play, when again, as Blitz says, we don't do words, we do sex. Since basically all Souls talks about is sex. You really...
Are you out of your fucking mind? Blitz, you actually think that Blitz thinks this is a role play? No! He never thought it was a role play. Like I said, in Full Moon, he was pretending that it was a role play so that he could distract Stolas from having to talk about things that are complicated, which he was worried about at the beginning of the episode. And in this interaction, at no point does it seem like Blitz thinks this is a role play. Like, what a weird fucking role play this would be. Like, role playing that... Like, this is nonsense. Huh?
I can't blame Blitz for believing that Stolas wasn't being serious here and that it was supposed to be some kind of roleplay. I am not saying what Blitz did is okay, but you can't blame him for believing that this was all a
He doesn't believe it. It's not even that you can blame him for it's not what's happening at all in this scene. What are you talking about?
show Stolas put on. As Blitz says, you usually like it when I talk to you this way. So again, how is Blitz supposed to fucking know that you're not kidding, Stolas? Again, and not justifying what Blitz did, just saying that it wasn't his fault for not knowing that Stolas wasn't joking. And again, what really bothers me...
He doesn't think that Stolas is joking. He's again thinking that if he just gets back into it, just puts on the charm, puts on the riz, does the sex thing, then he can rescue their relationship. Because that's the only way he knows how to do it, because he hates when things get complicated and emotional, and he actually has to put effort into a relationship because he doesn't like that. It makes him feel too vulnerable.
is that Stolas is mad that Blitz doesn't understand that this isn't a joke, when again, Stolas makes everything...
Imagine just, like, having a totally just not... Like, imagine watching this scene and just not understanding anything about what's going on in this scene. Like, this is amazing. This person is just making up a scene that doesn't exist.
Everything about sex, and made Blitz believe that Stolas only wanted him for sex. That's another thing with Stolas. He doesn't take accountability for his actions. Everyone is in the wrong except for him. Apparently.
Yeah, conflict avoidance.
Usually I would say in any other case that Blitz doing this would be sexual harassment, but I suppose this is unintentional sexual harassment, and it isn't right, but Blitz didn't know.
God, so willing to... This person is a Blitz simp. Just so willing to defend Blitz for something that if Stolas did this, he would be livid at Stolas. But Blitz just constantly pushing Stolas' boundaries in this moment. It's like he just gets a tiny little slap on the wrist. He just like, oh, you probably shouldn't have done that. But I can understand where you're coming from. Like extending so much sympathy to this one character and nothing to the other character.
Know that Stolas genuinely didn't want to fuck. And you can't blame Blitz for thinking that this was a lie, since sex is all Stolas talks about. So he's used to it by now. And I'm sure that if Blitz knew that Stolas was being serious, he would have backed off.
He did. He did know, and he didn't back off. So, you're wrong.
And my team could kick that guy's ass that easily, then I'm sure you'd have no problem.
I suppose you are right. Silly me. It's not an imp's place to protect a Goetia, is it?
And there it is. Took you long enough.
That's all you were waiting for, wasn't it? For me to play into this idea you have of me, that I'm this prince who thinks he's so much better than you.
No shit, he believes that. Like, oh my lord, Stolas, I can't. Like, I cannot. This show genuinely pisses me off. How many times has Stolas called Blitz a little imp and an itty-bitty imp and dumped him down to just an impish little plaything? Like, holy fucking lord, Stolas. You're either really stupid or so full of yourself and such a narcissist that you don't realize your own actions and want to blame everyone else instead of taking accountability for the wrong things you've done. It's probably both.
As shocking as...
Yeah, and just ignoring every time that Stolas gave him praise and was genuine toward him and said he loved spending time with him and that he loves him. And yeah, okay, we've been over this.
This might seem, Blitz. I don't think I'm in the mood to do sex with you.
Yes, Stolas, you're right. That is very shocking. Like, why is he so upset? You're acting like you did nothing wrong. Like,
Okay. Yeah, it's... I have to go back a few frames because that was distracting. Let me roll that back.
Do sex with you.
Yes, Stolas, you're right. That is very shocking. Like, why is he so upset? You're acting like you did nothing wrong. Like,
He's not acting like he did nothing wrong, although he doesn't probably understand that he's done something wrong in this interaction. And I think if maybe he is acting like he's done nothing wrong, and that's an errant behavior here. But I think what he's really doing in this moment makes sense. Like this idea that it would be shocking to Blitz that he doesn't want to have sex with him right now. He knows that's bullshit, and Blitz knows that's bullshit, because they both know that this is a serious situation. They both know that the previous night they had a horrible interaction and it really hurt his feelings. And Blitz straight up apologize. He tries to apologize to Stolas at the end of Full Moon. Did you forget that part? He reaches out and goes, "Stolas, wait, he says the first letter of sorry, and he isn't able to get it out because Stolas teleports him outside of the palace. So he was already going to apologize before Apology Tour, and if Stolas had just waited for a few more seconds, he would have apologized. So, yeah.
Oh my god. Like, I'm so sorry to sound like a broken record.
Dan
I just
Cowman
don't even know how to commentate over these without saying
is
things
here.
I haven't already said.
In fact, I don't think I'm even in the mood to do words with you. So how about you respect that?
Oh, come on.
Hearing Stolas say, how about you respect that, is so fucking funny and aggravating at the same time. Like, holy shit, how much of a goddamn hypocrite can you be and not even be aware of it? You constantly violate Blitz's boundaries, and that's okay, but then you get mad when he doesn't respect yours, when again, Blitz doesn't even know what you're talking about because you make everything about sex, so he doesn't even know that you're being serious and that you want him to back off.
I'd never indulge this nonsense.
But, like, when has he done that since Aussies? Never. Even in that moment in Seeing Stars, even in that moment, he wasn't violating Blitz's boundaries there. He was encouraging him. That wasn't a violation of Blitz's boundaries. Because they don't have an anti-sex boundary. That's just not how their relationship is. In Lululand and in Murder Family even, and in Harvest Moon, in even what's it, the one after Harvest Moon, Truth Seekers, in all those episodes, we see instances of Stolas supposedly violating Blitz's boundaries. When he's doing this, the reason Blitz is upset is because he's like being aggressively horny and being like very affectionate, like physically affectionate and verbally affectionate at embarrassing times and at inopportune moments. Like when he's trying to run away from Martha shooting at him with a shotgun, and he gets a phone call in the middle of that while he's trying to be quiet. He gets a phone call from Stolas talking about how he wants to fuck him. Like, yeah, that's like the wrong time and the wrong place for that. In Lululand, he's just trying to do a job. He's trying to be professional, and he's with his employees, and he's with Stolas' daughter, and Stolas is being an ass. Like, yeah, that's the wrong time, wrong place. In Harvest Moon, like Stolas getting up on stage and calling him out, like putting him on the spot, like that kind of behavior, that's annoying to him. But this isn't supposed to communicate to the audience that Blitz is just fundamentally uncomfortable with their relationship, because he's not.
It's silly.
Real silly. Real fucking classy.
Kind of them to invite me, though. It might be rude not to make an appearance.
Veronica! Of course, that fucking bitch.
Like, imagine claiming you love someone and then going to a party that is about hating that person you apparently love. And on top of that, knowing that that person's ex invited you. That's fucking rude as hell. And I know that Blitz didn't treat Veronica well, but I'm willing to bet that Stolas doesn't know what happened between Veronica and Blitz and why they broke up. Blitz doesn't really open up to anyone in general, and I don't think that Blitz would be comfortable enough sharing this with Stolas. Also, my theory about this is basically confirmed true in this next clip.
We'll say. It's rather concerning you have an entire party devoted to hating you, though, Blitz.
Oh, please. Everyone hates me for shitty reasons. In the end, everyone's just bitter they couldn't tie this ass down. I'm too much imp to simp.
You really think that's the reason?
Yes, sir. They couldn't handle it. I moved on.
So clearly Stolas doesn't know what happened between Veronica and Blitz, judging by this conversation. The reason I bring this up is just to show you how shitty Stolas is. Again, he claims to love Blitz, yet he's going to a party that is not only dedicated to hating Blitz, but he also got the invite from one of Blitz's exes. Like, what the fuck? Why?
I don't know. Maybe because Blitz hurt his feelings by saying that by claiming that Stolas doesn't love him, treating his love as a total joke, and calling him a pompous, rich asshole, yelling at him to his face. Yeah, maybe in all of that, Stolas' feelings were hurt. And maybe he thinks it might be a good idea to go talk to some other people who've been hurt by Blitz. I don't know. Seems pretty sensible to me. And we don't get the sense that he's very comfortable at that party because he doesn't hate Blitz the way that the others do, because he does still love him. And so it was clearly he didn't even really know why he was there. But he partly, I think, wanted to be there to just to kind of communicate to Blitz how hurt he is. That you hurt me so bad that I'm going to go to this party. Because right now in this scene, Blitz is just acting in total denial of the fact that he even hurt Stolas' feelings. He isn't even validating that side of things. He isn't even validating this idea that he hurt Stolas' feelings. So Stolas is like, fine, I'll show you how much you hurt my feelings by going to the party.
There's no one talking about this. And obviously Blitz is lying when he says all this. It's showing that he at least does have remorse for how he treated Verosika. This is just a front he's putting up. Another clear piece of evidence that shows Blitz isn't comfortable enough with Stolas to reveal his true self to him.
So you're used to being the one who crushes others' feelings.
Holy shit, you're talking to a fucking mirror. Like, the fact that I'm getting this mad over a cartoon is a little concerning. But, like, what the fuck? Does this dumb bird bitch forget what he did? Like, oh my god.
What did he do? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? and this is the only time Stolas has ever been in love. It's the only time he's ever had a relationship like this. So...
Okay, anyway, moving on.
So, like, how is he talking to a mirror by saying that you're used to hurting other people's feelings?
Get out. Right now. What? I'm tired of this. I'm uncomfortable with how you're speaking to me now.
Oh, come on, Stolas. You can't tell me this isn't a fantasy of yours. You want me to show your rich, princey ass what a real fucking is.
Stop it.
Ha! I'm right, aren't I? You get off to getting plowed by people you...
Stolas is saying that Blitz is making him uncomfortable, which is also really funny considering all the time Stolas
Yeah.
uncomfortable.
Shut the fuck
I swear,
up.
this
Who
man is such a
cares?
hypocrite. It pisses me off so much. If Vizzy and the team aren't writing Stolas this way to be intentionally unlikable, I think I would lose all of my faith in humanity. Actually, fuck that.
Well, I hate to break it to you, but they're not.
My faith in humanity is already gone, and it's all thanks to this next clip.
I don't look down on you. How many times do I... When have I ever...
How are you possibly this unself-aware? Like, holy shit. I really hope that this episode was intentionally supposed to make Stolas look like an asshole, because if it wasn't, then I just have no words. Again, how can somebody possibly do all this shit and then think that they haven't done anything wrong?
What?
It blows my mind.
Like, you've been talking incessantly, but like everything you pointed out is wrong. Like, everything you pointed out of Stolas doing something wrong is just not true. It's not how it happened. It's not what the motivations are. It's not how these characters are feeling. Like, you've just misrepresented everything, and now you're at the point where you're like, how could he possibly think this? How could you possibly think this?
And how fucking selfish and unaware Stolas is. The next thing I hadn't seen anyone mention before this, I actually saw somebody make a comment about it on my YouTube video for my part 1 while I was making this video, so shout out to them. This was also something I was supposed to mention in my part 1 video, but I forgot to, so I'm throwing it in here.
You speak just like that vile striker friend of yours, the one who tried to kill me and you couldn't be bothered to come help me. Remember him?
Hey, look,
This is really fucking insulting when you remember that Stolas put Blitz's life at risk just to talk about sex back in episode 1.
Yeah, that is kind of that is kind of a good point. He did put Blitz's life at risk, and we saw that we have this implication that Stolas can see more than he should be able to, because of, like, in Truth Seekers, Blitz is like, how'd you find us? And he goes, I have my ways, darling. Are you all right? And of course, in this episode, we can see in the bath, he's looking at the bubbles, and you can see Blitz in one of the bubbles. And, you know, you could interpret that as just like an animation flourish, but I think it's actually supposed to signify that he has, like, magic bubble seeing powers, and he can actually see him in the bubbles. So yeah, this was kind of a dick move for him to call him while he's running away from a cannibalistic human. I will give you that this was fucked up. And so it is kind of, he doesn't have much ground to stand on with this Stryker thing. I think he's just mad. Because honestly, I think after Western Energy, Stolas wasn't even mad at Blitz about the way that turned out. Because I think Stolas understood why Blitz didn't come. But I still think it hurt him. He emotionally, even though he logically knew why it happened that way, he was always holding on to hope that Blitz would come, and that's why he tells Stryker that. And of course, Moxie and Millie do come, and that's kind of like, okay, that's a compromise that he's able to accept. But it did always kind of sting him a little, and I think that he always kind of repressed that feeling. But it did kind of sting him a little bit that Blitz didn't come, because it made him kind of sad that, like, if Blitz was in danger, which he was, then he would be there, and he was in Truth Seekers. But the fact that when he was in danger, Blitz wasn't there, it definitely, even if he could understand why it happened and not blame him, it still hurt, because it's indicates to him, I think, part of his kind of confidence issue, part of his sort of the thing that he was singing about in Full Moon, about how, I'll believe him and not the voice that says I'm not enough. Really, I mean, this is an unrequited love on his end, and he's always insecure about the fact that Blitz doesn't love him the way he loves Blitz. So with this Stryker situation, I think it's just coming out in this moment because he's mad at Blitz. And so he feels at liberty to just kind of spill the beans on all of this that he's been holding in this whole time. It doesn't mean that he's stupid and doesn't understand this situation and why it happened the way it did. They're emotional, and they're arguing, and they're having a fight. And so it's coming out in this moment that he's not just mad about what happened on the full moon, he's also mad about this Western Energy bit. And so, but this is see, these are the subtleties of emotions. This is what makes this show so good, is that they're so, when you look for it, you can see all the ways that these conversations have been set up by previous incidents, that everything comes together, everything has a purpose. But people like this, who are just dumb and don't understand human emotions, don't understand writing, it's too complicated for their little brains to handle. And so they make videos like this, where because they're too stupid to understand it, they're mad at the show for supposedly doing something wrong.
Stolas, this is a really bad time. When isn't it a bad time, Blitzy?
What is it?
Works out some kind of exchange. Favors for favors.
Doesn't that sound enticing?
You gotta stop using your fancy-ass rich people talk, okay? I'm trying to concentrate on not getting fucked in my A.
But then he gets mad at Blitz later for not saving him
line.
from Stryker. Don't get me wrong, Stolas definitely would have had a right to be upset that his friend didn't save him if he didn't also put Blitz's life at risk just because he wanted to ask, well, I was wondering if you could fuck me once a month. Bitch,
Yeah.
you put Blitz's life at risk
Fair
to
enough.
tell him, well, if you want to keep my book, you just gotta fuck me once a month.
Fair enough.
Which is gross on its own, but it's also not important. Like, this asshole seriously couldn't have waited for Blitz to be ready to call. You risked his life to ask him about sex. Like, if someone says this is a bad time, you say, okay, I'm sorry, I'll call back later. Like, why would you stay on the phone? I'm definitely not defending Blitz for not being there to rescue Stolas, but he saved Stolas' life back in the Harvest Moon Festival and didn't ask for anything in return. And in this episode, he tells Stolas that he needs to get Luna an important shot that they waited 5 years to get.
I think at that time their relationship was not very well established, and in Stolas' mind, Blitz was just this bad boy assassin, and so he didn't really take the situation seriously, and he was just kind of like having this sort of sexual fling he didn't really develop the really strong feelings yet. And so, yeah, at that point, he was being a little bit careless. And he probably shouldn't have done that. But I think the context was a little bit different later in their relationship. I'm new to this. Who's Stolas? You don't know who Stolas is. Stolas is the tall guy on screen right now. That's Stolas.
Which I don't think is as important as your friend's life, but if Blitz left Stolas and didn't send help, I'd be way harder on him. But he sent Moxie and Millie to save Stolas. Do I think that Blitz probably should have gone along with them and just postponed Luna's shot? Of course. But the difference is he tried to help Stolas when his life was in danger, and he never demanded anything in return. However, when Stolas saves Blitz in Truth Seekers, he says, "Am I going to get any thank you for the rescue?" This asshole always expects something in return. How can you be this unselfish?
Yeah, and that moment is misrepresented. That's not how we were supposed to take that moment, but okay.
Self-aware. I'm genuinely convinced Stolas got like a concussion or some shit, because there is no way he hasn't realized all of the downright horrible things he's done up to this point.
Why would I allow
the downright horrible, just the hyperbole. Come on.
I like you.
Yeah, like this is downright horrible. Like, oh, what a horrible person Stolas is for covering his face out of embarrassment for very understandable reasons. Yeah, what a monster he is. Like, this is an example of what a monster Stolas is. Give me a fucking break.
Now that's how I've tried so fucking hard to spend time with you.
Not once have you asked Blitz just to hang out, actually. You've always fucking made it about fucking. So get out of here with that. Then we have this clip. I'm just going to mentally prepare myself.
Do you feel any kind of remorse for what you do? Have you ever even apologized once in your life?
Please tell me that Stolas is intentionally made to look like a dick here. Please. I'm on my knees begging.
No.
I don't even think I need to explain what's wrong with this clip. I think it speaks for itself. So we're just going to move on before I rage.
Good.
And I can sorry more people, everyone but you, because I don't owe you dick. Everyone but you.
Blitz, thank you for saying this. Oh my god, thank you. In my opinion, both of these dumbasses need to apologize to each other, but Blitz has every fucking right to be pissed off. Blitz doesn't owe Stolas an apology if Stolas won't apologize for his shitty mistakes. And Blitz is right. He doesn't owe Stolas sex. He doesn't owe Stolas shit. Stolas letting Blitz keep his grimoire was obviously just so Stolas could use Blitz to fulfill his gross sexual desires, rather than just letting Blitz keep it because Stolas wanted to do something nice for him.
I mean, Blitz owes himself giving Stolas an apology. That's really the situation here. It's not even about what Stolas is owed. It's about what Blitz is owed. And not refusing to apologize to Stolas is hurting him more than it's hurting Stolas.
Later in this episode, Stolas still wants a fucking apology from Blitz, while refusing to apologize himself. And of course, plays the victim. Something else I feel worth mentioning is the way that Veronica treats Stolas. I'm not blaming her though. There's no way she could have known how Stolas treated Blitz and that Blitz wasn't the only one doing something wrong.
Oh my god.
But it is very infuriating to see Stolas get babied and treated like he's a victim, even though he's been an asshole this whole time too.
Shut the fuck up. Just treating him like he's some sort of monster. It just gets worse and worse. The longer this goes, the more hyperbolic it gets.
Again, it's obviously not Veronica's fault for behaving this way towards Stolas, since she would have no way of really knowing what happened in their relationship. Just as a viewer of the show, it is annoying.
Oh, yes, I recall. Everyone but me is getting your cheap apologies tonight, Well...
Why is Stolas acting as if he did nothing wrong? Like, did this dumbass forget what he did, or does he just think that nothing he did...
What did he do? Again, like... this person has explained thoroughly what Stolas has done wrong, and still I am left thinking, what did he do again? Like, every single time this person brings up, like, why hasn't Stolas apologized for what he did? I'm thinking, what did he do? It still hasn't sunk into me. Just because, yeah, every, like I said, every single criticism he brings up is wrong.
Was wrong. Because, like, what the actual fuck? How can you possibly think that you did nothing wrong and that Blitz owes you an apology, but you don't owe him one? Like, Stolas' ego is ridiculous.
Look, how I acted this morning, it was fucked, okay?
This morning? Oh, why did you show up there? Why did you show up here?
You already asked that, but look, I just really need to talk to you, to explain.
Oh?
I've always been real shit at sorries, okay? They're for pussies, and no one fucking deserves them anyway, but I felt like maybe you actually needed one.
Oh, lucky me!
Oh, shit. Okay, what I mean is, I said sorry a lot today, and honestly, didn't really mean any of it, because the only one I wanted to say it to was you, Stoles. This whole thing we had going, I mean, you're a fucking prince. How could you ever actually care for an imp? Me. How could anybody?
It was nice to see Blitz open up to Stolas just a little bit. Even seeing him open up at all is a good thing.
Yeah,
I just think he didn't really pick the best time to do it since Stolas was drunk and was kind of being a bitch. But at the same time, it infuriates me that Blitz thought he needed to apologize if Stolas still refused to. Listen, you both have made mistakes. You're both idiots. You both owe each other apologies. It's not just one-sided. I don't understand why this show constantly...
Okay. Well, at least that is true. At least that's one more statement from this person that I can get behind. Yes, they're both idiots and they both deserve apologies. I can handle that.
Shits on Blitz and then baby Stolas and acts like Blitz is the only one who needs to apologize.
Stolas, you are better off without me, okay? You deserve so much. I don't even know why you would want to be with me.
You want to know what I want? I want to know what it's like to not be alone. The point is, I just want someone to care if I stay or go. I want someone to want me, to want to see me, to hold me, look at me and think, well, you're the only one I want. I desire to hold you and talk to...
God, I cannot... I am not looking forward to hearing this person look at this scene and then just use it as yet another opportunity to say something stupid about how Stolas is wrong and how he's an evil, horrible monster. Ugh.
You never let you feel so.
Like, what's he gonna say? What's he gonna say about this moment?
Go home, please. Let me not feel so sad.
I do appreciate the fact that these two had a heart-to-heart talk. Actually, no, let me rephrase. It wasn't really heart-to-heart since Stolas was, like, kind of drunk. But I guess I do believe what he was saying.
What does that have to do? What, you can't have a heart-to-heart when you're drunk, huh?
About not wanting to be alone. But again, Stolas doesn't treat Blitz well, somebody he claims to love. He treats Blitz like all he wants Blitz for is sex, yet now he just pulls the, I'm feeling lonely.
Yeah, I knew that this is the direction that this was going in. And it's just like, yeah, what a way to totally delegitimize and denigrate this character's feelings. By again just harping on this debunked bullshit again one more time. This fiction that Stolas has never expressed true feelings for Blitz, this lie that this person is trying to pass off yet again, and now doing it in this moment when, like, this is like the least appropriate moment for that.
Oh, I wish I'd find a lover that could hold me. If you just want to be loved, then why do you constantly talk about sex? It makes no sense.
Yeah, because those are apparently totally incompatible to you. Apparently, to this person, love and sex are things that are total opposites and should have nothing to do with each other. And according to this person, sex just shouldn't exist at all. 1968, drunk minds speak sober thoughts. Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing is, like, I actually think you're more likely to have a real, true heart-to-heart talk when you're drunk. Because you don't have all the weird neuroses and inhibitions preventing you from saying your true feelings. President James Dean, by the way, I love your Marilyn Manson analysis videos. Great.
Another thing worth mentioning, look, I'm really not trying to be a dick here. Okay, yes I am. I just don't ship Blitz and Stolas at all. I just don't believe Stolas genuinely loves Blitz. And it also bothers me that Stolas is kind of
like,
a hypocrite
what the
when it comes
fuck?
to this. He says that he just wants to be...
Like, seriously? You watch this scene of him bawling his eyes out about how much he loves Blitz, and then your response to that is, yeah, I just don't think that he I just don't believe it. These feelings that he's expressing, I don't think they're real. Like, what a fucking asshole.
Be someone, as in he...
Like, I can't imagine how this person would fare, like, dealing with real people. Like, if this is how this person handles fictional characters, oh my god, I am terrified to know how this person handles real people. I mean, imagine if this person said that about a real person, expressing their feelings and bawling their eyes out in that way. Like, nah, your feelings aren't real. God.
Just wants to be
nightmare.
someone's one and only, but then he goes and makes out with a guy he just met. And don't get me wrong, he has every right to do that. He's free to French kiss whoever he wants. The thing that bothers me is that just a few days ago he was telling Blitz that he loves him and all that, and now he's just so willing to move on that fast to another guy. You want to be someone's one and only, but then you can go out and fool around with whoever you want? I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to call bullshit.
So he thinks those aren't genuine tears? Yeah, I don't get it. But, yeah, I mean, he's... On the one hand, this person is saying, yeah, Stolas has every right to do this. And then on the other hand, he's saying, Stolas shouldn't have done that. Well, which is it? Does he have every right to do this or doesn't he? Because I think if he does love Blitz, but he feels horribly hurt by Blitz, and he's not getting what he wants out of that relationship, and he never has, then, like, if he's drunk, if he's in a state of mind where his inhibitions are totally relaxed, like, I think it's reasonable that he would try to forget those feelings, because really what he's doing at this party is he's trying to escape the hurt. Like, he's really just having an awful day. He's really just incredibly sad. And so he just wants anything that can take him away. And if making out with this little succubus guy is like something that can distract him from that in this moment, then I think it's perfectly sensible that he would do such a thing, even if, you know, even if it might kind of look bad, I guess. It might look like it says something about how he views his relationship with Blitz, that he doesn't actually love Blitz. I personally don't have like a monogamous mindset toward relationships like this, and so I don't even really relate to that idea at all. Anyway, And so I'm trying to kind of give it the benefit of the doubt, but I'm just going to come out and say that I just straight up don't really vibe with that kind of protectionism, I guess you could call it. Like how you have protectionism in trade, you can have protectionism in love as well. I don't vibe with it anyway, and so I personally can't bring myself to see anything wrong with this situation. But I guess I can understand how other people would.
Hey, I'm so sorry. This is going to be out of order. I just realized after recording that I forgot to talk about the song Stolas sings in the episode, so I'm just going to talk about it now. I finished the last part of this video at like 2 in the morning, so I most likely just completely forgot to mention it because my brain was fried. So I apologize for this being out of order. I was too lazy to write a script for this because I'm pretty sure this video is going to be close to an hour. So this part is completely unscripted. I'm just going to wing it. I pulled up the lyrics of the song. We're going to read it together and appreciate this masterpiece. So, I let you get too close. I let it go too far. Now I know, now I know, now I know exactly what you are. Damn, that repetition. He really had to like hone it in. Now he knows exactly what Blitz is. What exactly is Blitz? Like, this is what I don't...
A big fucking asshole. I don't know how you could watch this show and not come to the conclusion that Blitz is an asshole. He's very clearly signaled to be that from the very beginning. And Stolas is very clearly not signaled to be that. He's very clearly signaled to be something else. Maybe a horny freak. But not just a total a-hole.
I don't understand. Like, what do you mean, now I know exactly what you are? This also reminds me, I forgot to talk about Stolas' song in Ozzy's. The one, I think it's, I don't know if it has a name, but it's like Owl in a Cage. That one.
It's called Stolas Sings. It's a great song. One of my favorites from the series.
It's honestly just really funny seeing Stolas play the victim, saying like, I was such a fool to believe you actually loved me. Bro, you led him on too. You led Blitz
Misunderstood
on too.
Owl
I don't know
Twink.
why Stolas is acting like he was so naive and he was used. Like, okay, you used Blitz for sex.
Pretty much.
So, you're not exactly a great person either. Alright, so, this next part, I let it go too long. I let you go too deep. I'm sorry, I'm immature. Now I know, now I know, now I know there's one thing I can't keep. But I keep on waiting. Waiting to want you less than I do. And I do, oh I do, yes I still do want you.
This is a great song.
But maybe it's all on me for missing every sign and every glance and every turn. Okay, so I'm really not trying to be rude. I would understand as a songwriter that it's really hard to write a song, but these lyrics are so fucking basic. Like, this sounds like an Olivia Rodrigo song.
It is.
Or like a Taylor Swift breakup song, you know what I'm saying? Like, again, no offense to the writers, but this...
It is, and if it didn't have context, then it would probably be kind of like whatever. Now, as lyrically speaking, however, musically, I think it's really great. Musically, I think it's better than Taylor Swift or Olivia Rodrigo. But yeah, it's the sort of thing where, like, if you listen to one of those songs without any context of their relationship and how it failed, and you listen and you don't have the context for understanding it, then it just feels very generic. And that's kind of why I don't like love songs or breakup songs very much. I think it's a very overused category of writing, just because it just, this sort of thing, it's not very impressive on its own. However, in the context of a show like this, where we've had this really, really interesting fascinating sort of dynamic that's been explored over the course of many episodes, it actually does pack a pretty decent punch.
This is definitely one of the weaker Hell of a Boss songs, in my opinion, at least.
Oh,
anyway,
fuck
so
you fucking idiot. You don't know what you're talking about.
The first two lines are confusing me. I let it go
Goddamn
too long.
moron.
I let you go too deep. I'm not even trying to make a sex joke out of this. I'm just genuinely confused. Is he talking about, like, sex-wise? I mean,
no,
look,
he's
you
not.
can't blame me for thinking that, because all Stolas thinks about is sex.
Oh my god, you are an
So,
idiot.
like,
no, that's not all Stolas thinks about, and we've established that over and over and over and over. That is not all. Even in that fucking scene that you played, where he's bawling his eyes out, it's very clear. Oh god, this is just the incessant just abandonment of all reality. I just can't with these. Some people just want to delude themselves into ever deeper traps of nonsense, and I don't get what is the impulse with that? Why do people do this? Why do people make videos like this? Why do people do this to themselves? Let alone to me, having to watch it. Man, it's funny, the first entry in this two-parter was fun for me. I was enjoying tearing apart this person's arguments. This one, I am just so sick of it because it's so repetitive. And it's getting to the point where, like, I just can't believe that this person can live with themselves being this dishonest. It's really remarkable.
Does he mean I let you go too deep sex-wise, or does he mean, like, I let you, like, cut me too deep, like I let you hurt me too much?
1968 says, damn, this Hell of a Boss shit goes deep. I know. Like, I don't know why this person feels the need to let this show go. Like, and to let this character become such a problem for him that he needs to do this. But yeah, it does go deep. Like, when you're in it, you're in it.
Because if so, that's fucking hilarious, considering the fact that you made Blitz cry on the night of Aussies, and he told you that he felt like you only wanted him for sex, and then you continuously made sexual remarks towards him. But we're not going to talk about that, I guess, because Blitz is just the big meanie, and Stolas
the old classic. Here, let me talk about this thing briefly, but we're not going to talk about that, even though I keep bringing it up over and over and over and over.
Just so pure and innocent. Is there anything else important here? 'Cause I am not a thief, but you are mine to earn. What if I came on too What if I came on too strong? What if I read this all wrong? What if we just don't belong? You don't. All this what if. Why makes me burn. Oh, I don't think you meant to hurt me, 'cause I don't think it meant a thing at all. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. This is definitely probably the weakest Hell of a Boss song. Like, these lyrics, I cannot. Most of the shit doesn't even rhyme.
Let's see. Earn, burn, strong, wrong, belong. How did all of this rhymes? Literally every line in this rhymes. Like, maybe these two at the end, but because I don't think it meant a thing at all, and then that goes into a refrain. At all, at all, at all. That's repetitive. That fills the place of a rhyme. So yeah, pretty much all of this rhymes. What are you talking about?
Again, why is Stolas acting like, oh, like, what if I was wrong about us? Like, acting as if he wasn't technically using Blitz.
Maybe you would know. Maybe you could answer your own question if you just honestly watched the show and taken in the cues that the show is giving you. It's just, this person is asking these questions, and it's like these questions have answers in the show. Just pay the fuck attention and stop being such a fucking bitch.
Too. Like, I'm sorry, I probably sound like a broken record just saying, oh,
Yeah, you
why
do.
is Stolas acting like he's innocent? But why is Stolas acting like he's innocent? Like,
And you're making me sound like a broken record. That's part of what's frustrating about this, is that, like, I feel the need every single time this person says something wrong to respond to it, but most of the time it's the same thing. And so I feel like a broken record going over this over and over again, and it's driving me nuts.
he fucked up too. Both of you fucked up. You both need to talk to each other. You both need to apologize to each other.
This video was just an ego stroke to make themselves smugly feel better for their logical hate boner. I guess. Man, I did not expect to go this hard on him, because I didn't go this hard the last time. I did harshly kind of criticize him, but like I'm frustrated with this one.
Each other. Like, it just makes me so angry that, like, both of Stolas' songs that he sung about Blitz, he's victimizing himself. The thing with this song is I really don't feel like I need to cover anymore. I feel like I've already said everything, and I don't want to sound like a broken record or stretch this video, because I already know it's going to be a long one. My first part was 30 minutes long, so I think that this video might be over an hour, which is fucking crazy. I never thought I would be making videos over an hour. I never even thought I'd be getting back into YouTube, but now I actually have a reason to, because so many of you like my content, which means the world to me. I never really thought I was that interesting of a commentator, but I really like talking about fiction and stuff. So I know that I know that my videos aren't the best. My mic quality isn't great.
It makes me wonder what kind of stories this person does like. But yeah, that's we're done with that finally. We can finally take a breather. That was horrible. That was horrible. And I think I'm going to have to watch it over again so I can turn it into a clip. That was a hell of a slog. That should be the name of this person's channel, Hell of a Slog. Alright, well, I said I would get through those 2 videos today, and I did.